has a fun, crazy story to share before we start the video? Come on, something intriguing, funny, interesting. Please no tragic. I'm not in the mood for tragic. My cat died. That's about as much as I can do. Just kidding. Nothing.
I got busted ding dong ditching on people yesterday. That was pretty cool. Everybody's like, oh, they're gonna see me, and like pulling out those like, gotcha, like taking pictures of my car. Like,
There you go. We have Brian Wetzel, personal ding dong ditcher. How did your pop drop-bys go?
it went pretty good. You really sorted out who your A and B clients were. The B clients would be like, yeah, I don't have time to drop this off to my neighbor. You may come pick it up, and you're like, just throw it away if you don't want it. Like, it's a free gift. Like, whatever. Try to return it. And then, like, the A's are like, texting me what they sent. Show the picture. They got like 20 different things at the dollar store all Halloween, and they have like, this represents PW Homes, so we need to make this look good for our neighbors. And they just went like way out, and they texted it to me. So I was like, that's sweet.
What did you do?
Yeah, I can pass it around. It is literally just like the flyer, and then just these Tootsie Pops with Kleenex on them and Ghostface drawn on it. Ooh, you've been booed. But it's like meant to get passed.
It's fantastic. It's pre-licked Tootsie Pops.
Just the chocolate center.
Yeah, right? I mean, here's how far he goes. They are all quality controlled and QC'd and checked, right? They all are good.
That's really good about Johnny.
I tried doing that with my van one time, and the police got home. Yeah, right? Boom. All right, so as Mike said, we'll get going, folks. So we're doing, when you see the title, I think there was a discussion on the Facebook post for what's going on today. We're actually seeing part 2 of this series, but part 1 is more setup. But this is about follow-up, right? And how are we going to follow up? Because we're specifically with Facebook leads and business, because we're all starting to use Listen to Leads. We're all starting to generate activity and use this as a more and more valuable platform. And this is the follow-up side of that stuff. So perhaps some will be review. Perhaps for others it will be something brand new. At the end of this, I'm going to ask, okay, what was a nugget? I want to grab a couple nuggets or ahas that you guys came from out of this. And then we'll see who can implement it, because we're going to see what happens next week as your businesses grow and you tell us where you got your deals from. And Mike goes through and does the listings and the pendings. Where did you get your business from? Right? We'll see if implementation of any of this stuff helps your business and where it goes. It won't be tomorrow. It will be coming soon. So with that, we'll get rolling. Do we define Chernobyl?
Hey, seriously, thank you guys for showing up today. Been a lot of craziness today. Holy cow. Been some crazy online traffic conversation about lead sources and making sure we have multiple lead sources, all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're not going to go into that today on this Facebook Live, but I'll tell you what, we will have a Facebook Live coming up very, very soon. And hopefully we're going to try and get Zillow onto a Facebook Live with us so we can talk about kind of how Zillow works and the pros and the cons and let everybody talk about, is Zillow trying to get agents out of the business, or are they really just trying to help agents out and provide a great quality lead source for us? And so we'll have all kinds of great conversation about that. But for today, we are talking with Tristan Ahumada, Mike Bjorkman, and Brian Curtis about Facebook leads and how to get more Facebook leads in some creative ways. This is part 2 of a 2-part series that we did with Tristan, specifically on Facebook leads. So that being said, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Michael Hellickson with Club Wealth. I'm one of the coaches here. And Mike Bjorkman, another great, we call him a faculty member of Club Wealth. What that means is Mike's a smart guy, knows a lot, and now has finally acquired better than dial-up internet access. So we'll be woohoo! And then we've got Brian Curtis out of Bentonville, Arkansas. Brian is on track to do 350 transactions this year in Bentonville. He's freaking crushing it. One of the smartest guys in real estate, also a Club Wealth coach, and my partner in Club Wealth Expansion Services. So as you guys know, we have teams all around the country, and we actually partner with them. We become financial partners in some of these teams. This is aside from our coaching that we do with agents all over the country. And so anyway, Brian Curtis is with us. And then last but certainly not least is Mr. Tristan Ahumada, the man, the myth, the legend, him itself, right here live with us. Tristan is the owner of Lab Coat Agents. He's got 67,000 agents or 62,000 agents or something like that in your group. And just crushing it on his Facebook group. He's also a real estate agent
Who's part of Lab Coat Agents? All right, so this is the guy who's founds it, leads it, whatever. He's a cool cat.
In California, he's kind of covering that. Where are you at? You're like, not Thousand Oaks. What are you?
West Village, Malibu.
Westlake Village, Malibu. God, I always screw that up. Sorry, Tristan. But anyway, Tristan's a freaking stud. We love him to death. So that being said, Tristan, what are we going to learn today, man?
Oh man, lots of good stuff. So part one, we learned how to create the ads, how to put them out there, what to look for. I'd say in part two, I was focusing a little bit more on the follow-up, what to say. And last time, I don't think we had Brian. Brian, were you with us the last time?
I absolutely was.
Oh, and live you weren't with us. That's what it was. When we went to that event.
Yeah, my plane got stuck in Bentonville, couldn't get out.
Oh, that's right.
Because that's never happened before.
The only plane in Arkansas. We missed it.
Well, I think the problem was they were having trouble getting the fertilizer loaded on the plane in time. So
We were out of fuel.
that's awesome.
I wanted to see a little bit more of what Brian had this time too, and kind of combine what we had. So, you want me to get started, or you want Brian to get started?
We want you to start, Tristan.
Get it, Tristan. Let's hear it, brother.
Let me switch over my screen here. All right, tell me when you can see this puppy.
We got it. We can see it, man.
All right, so last time we talked about Facebook leads, and what we don't talk enough of is follow-up. What do you do when you get a Facebook lead? Online lead. So I created this so that everyone could see it. It's exactly what we do.
So everybody could see it.
Specifically for Facebook lead ads. And here's what we do. On day one, we're immediately following up with a call. If there's no pickup, then we get into a call again 10 seconds after. The purpose of that is you don't know if that person just doesn't recognize the number and won't pick up, or if somebody's actually on another call, won't pick up. We don't know where they're at. So that's why we hang up, we don't leave a message, and we call them right back 10 seconds later. Usually that shows them, oh, you know what, this person may really need to get a hold of me, or this may be important. So they'll hang up or they'll stop what they're doing and they'll pick up that second call. If no one picks up, then we leave them a voice message. 5 minutes later, we send them a text. The reason we do this 5 minutes later and not immediately, we want to make it look like it's more real. Because if we're calling them 2 times in a row and then we're texting them at the same time, it seems more automated. Plus, it's a Facebook ad. It's not a Realtor.com lead or a Zillow lead where it's being sold to 5 to 10 people at the same time, right? So you have a little bit more time. 10 minutes later, go ahead.
Hey, Tristan, so I wanted to just, I guarantee you there's people watching this right now, and the thing that you talk about in the immediate, I refer to that as a double dial. I think someone coined that term a double dial. There are people who are going, oh, I never want to do that. I never want to do that. It's going to make people angry. It's going to make people unhappy. You know, they're going to feel harassed. So just before you move too far forward, address that. I'm sure you've had some negative reaction, but address what happens when you do that double dial.
Yeah, it's a great point. So this is what happens. When you're calling them that second time, or even the third time, because I know some people that do, and that person picks up, they want to know what the hell is going on. Why did you call 2 times? Why even a 3rd time? So your dialogue and your tonality has to be on point. If it's not, don't do it. Our tonality is right on, my ISA and myself. If we call them, we're still like, hey, Brian, and you'll be like, yeah, what is it? It's like, Brian, this is Tristan. Just inquired about homes on our website. I'm just getting back to you to see how I can help you.
Okay, what did you catch about he's talking about tonality. One, do we know what it is? And 2, did you catch in his example how he did it?
Leaves conciliatory.
Right? Very gentle intro. Not a, hey, high energy sales type of thing, right? It was a very, hey, this is Dan. Had you an inquiry? Just want to reach out, how can I help? Type of thing, right?
Softer and slower.
So when you're on a lead call and you're getting excited or you're getting commission breath and you want to close the deal and get it done, can you feel your own juices getting amped up? Right? You can come out of the gate swinging with a lot of energy, and here you have to actually take a conscious effort to bring it down. Right? Sometimes that takes practice. So if you're not role-playing this, guys, I suggest doing that.
And be like, well, and then you can tell whether or not they're angry. So then you can address it. So like, I didn't need to call you 2 times in a row. I just want to make sure that we are helping. That's those two. We have the highest percentage on response rate right now. So
Okay,
go ahead.
the video thing for us, or me specifically, is when I'm trying to get a hold of somebody day one and I can't get a hold of them, they ignore the text, they ignore the email, and the nudge text. At night, I send out the bomb and say, hey, tried to get a hold of you all day, and go through a script. I can show you foreclosures and short sales not on the market, give you a list of those things, and that response has been amazing. So I was just dying to know if you've tested this. Yeah, it's like, hey, I've tried all day. I know you're busy, I'm busy. I can do these things for you. So I was just curious, and not to interrupt the whole thing, but
No, that's awesome. So we still feel that email isn't going to give us the highest response rate. So we leave that for day 5 after day 4 is silent. This is specifically, now this is really, remember, specifically for Facebook lead ads.
right.
It's a little different when we get a Realtor.com, Zillow lead, or even a Google PPC lead. But this has worked well. Right now, our response rate for this whole thing, right now, we're at about 55% response rate. So 1 out of every 2 people actually respond, and they respond between day 2 and day 3 the most.
Interesting.
It's that
Awesome.
second text and the third text. So,
So, Kristen, real quick, what I want to ask you is, so first of all, the nudge text, and I just typed into the screen because I know a lot of people aren't sure what that is, but I want you to share it. It's the nudge text you're using, I'm assuming, is still let me know ... Is that correct?
yeah, I've tweaked it a little bit, but in essence, it's the same thing.
Are you doing smiley face, or how did you tweak it?
No, here's what I'm doing. I say, please let me know so I know what homes to send you.
There you go. Good. Okay. And have you noticed any difference in response from that versus the old standard?
People are responding more now.
More now. So the new nudge text, go ahead and give it to us one more time.
Please let me know so I know what homes to send you.
Write that down. Nudge text, and it was what?
Please let me know so I know what homes to send you. ...
I like it.
I'm typing that into the group right there. Love it. Please let me know so I know what homes to send you. Go ahead. Keep moving on forward.
All right, so that's the nudge text. Day 2, then after that, we leave it alone. We get a lot of responses honestly, from the calls. We get people calling me back. We get people texting us back. The last thing we want to do is remember these people are different than your Realtor.com or Zillow leads or your portal leads. Those people are looking for a home now. They even want to meet at a property sometimes, like instantly. This, on the other hand, is different. You're getting people at their very beginning stages for the most part. That's why the percentage in conversion from actual lead to closing is somewhere between 1% to 2%. And so knowing that, we're not pushing them as much. We want to be gentle. We want to nurture. We want to treat this more as a relationship from the very beginning. And that's why we're less aggressive. I mean, this might look aggressive, but it's actually less aggressive.
Well, and one of the things I would tell people is you guys start thinking in terms of pleasant persistence, right? So we want to be pleasantly persistent, but we want to follow up as a servant, not as a salesperson, right? So one of the things that we always love to use is our follow-up line of, I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball on my end. It's extremely disarming, and it changes them from being in a position of feeling sold to feeling like, oh, you're just trying to help me out. And their instant response is almost always something like, oh, no, it's not you, it's me, right? And I always like to tease Bjorkman that's like his girl in high school, right?
Whatever.
It is.
We digress.
But it works really well, right? All right, so let's go back to your slide there. So one of the things I want to know that I'm not seeing.
Did anybody catch that other text?
I did.
He mentioned it. He spoke it.
I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball.
Dropping the ball on our end, on my end, right? When else can you engage that text message, that messaging?
Your
had initial response and a fall through and someone's gone dark for a bit. What a way to get back into it, right? To reignite. You know, hey, they've been dark for a week. Send them a quick note. Hey, just want to make sure we're all good. Make sure I haven't dropped the ball on my end, or we're not dropping the ball. Speaking we, speaking plural, right? That we're not dropping the ball on our end. How's everything going? How can I help?
Seeing in here is video text. Where are you doing a video text, or are you doing video text?
We're not using video text right now on the Facebook lead ads because we're finding that the regular text is working really well.
Okay.
We are testing it on other sources like our expireds, and that's been working okay. We're getting good responses on that. Not as a great response as this. We're at 55% here, which is huge for us.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, we haven't tested it out yet. So I don't feel.
I'd love to see you test that out, Tristan. I know Brian, you just did this with your team, and tell me, you just had an agent that sent out 52 of these. Talk to us about her results and what she sent out and what her results were.
Right. Yeah, it's real simple. So we had an agent on our team, and it's kind of funny. Everyone kind of laughs at me on my team because I've been saying send out video text for 6 months. I'm like, send out video text, send out video text. And I love the leverage that it creates. So one of the agents on my team, she'll remain nameless, but she joined our team just a couple of months ago. She's had 2 closings, so she's relatively new, but still at the same point in time, she's got some experience. And she had been texting people, and so she just went through every single person that she texted. She sent out 58 video texts. They were unpersonalized, so the script was this: hey, this is Britta with Curtis Realty Group. We're just following up to see if you're still looking for a home. That was the video text that she sent. She sent it to 58 people. Her comment was it took 2 minutes. My guess is it probably took a little bit longer than that. But even if it took 10 minutes, she got 11 responses from that, and they were just old leads.
Well, these are old leads, right? So that's
Yes.
a little bit different. I agree
Absolutely.
with what Brian is saying completely. I think with older leads, you've got to try lots of different things. One of those is text.
Who has old leads?
Everyone.
Who's given up on old leads? Who's now going to go back and try and go after old leads, right? If you actually had a database, let's say I had 10,000 old leads, Helgson himself will say, I'll pay $1 a lead, and I'll buy them all right now. Because in those, there's 50 deals, right? And he'll come out money ahead because he'll work them.
Video, for sure.
Yeah, we agree. Because, the reality is if I've called you 27 times and you haven't answered the phone, doesn't mean I shouldn't call 28, but maybe, just maybe, I should take a different approach.
Maybe, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, seriously, man, you can't beat that. So let's go back to talking about how you're getting that 55% response on your lead ads, Tristan.
Let me take you back here. You guys can see my screen again?
Can.
Yep.
Okay. So, like I said, day 2 and day 3 are really important here. That nudge text is great on day 1. But day 2 and day 3, all those people that weren't able to respond on day 1 because when I reached out to them, they were either cooking with their kids, at work, doing something where they couldn't respond back. That day 2, you notice I'm doing it a little bit differently. I have a 9 a.m. call and a message and a midday text. And the midday text is very simple. It says something along the lines of, hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to connect with you yesterday. Please let me know how I can help you with your home search. It's very simple, not aggressive.
Did you catch that?
When we're leaving a message,
What was it?
Sorry I was not able to connect with you.
Please let me know how I can help you on your home search.
Yep. So obviously this is a follow-up campaign to what type of ad? Facebook buyer ad, right?
on day 1 and day 3, you see day 3, 9 a.m. voicemail. It's not a message. That day 2, you notice I'm doing it a little bit differently. I have a 9 a.m. call and a message and a midday text. And the midday text is very simple. It says something along the lines of, hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to connect with you yesterday. Please let me know how I can help you with your home search. It's very simple, not aggressive. And when we're leaving a message on day 1 and day 3, you see day 3, 9 a.m. voicemail. It's not a message that's saying, hey, this is Tristan. I sold a kabillion homes, and I'm the best agent out there. I can show you homes here, there, everywhere. Call me. I mean, that's the last thing you want to do because that's what everybody else is saying, right? You don't want to leave one of those messages. Your message should be really simple, letting them know that you're here to help, that you're giving them value. What's your value? I don't know what it is in your area, but in my area, it's really hot right now. Well, weather-wise, it's super hot. It's like 110, 120. But the market is really hot too. Wait, I have a question. Mike, Bjorkman, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you got to remember, it's like sending smoke signals. You got to give him a minute for his dial-up to pick up the message.
Dude, I was on mute trying not to cough when you guys did.
Right.
Yes,
Awesome.
Tristan, it's 150 here. Trust me.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know then. Okay.
It's hot,
Back to
dude. I'm about to tear this jacket off. If it wasn't for Michael, I'd be naked right now.
Oh, dude. God, you need to hear that. Oh.
That's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get people to tune in. All right.
Yeah, I think we just lost a few viewers.
Okay, well, back to
Obviously, these guys are characters and they know each other quite well.
Bernardo homes are selling really fast still, for the most part. And so our value is showing people that we have homes that are off the market, right? And so that's in our message. In our tonality, we're letting them know that we're not aggressive, but we're here to help them out by showing them homes that are not on the market yet. Because guess what? Everyone has a real estate agent. Everyone knows one, their family members one. That's like the biggest objection we get all the time. And I don't care anymore. You've got an agent, I don't really care unless you sign a buyer-broker agreement with them. And you have to have the same mentality because a lot of the people drop it right there. Oh, I've got an agent. Okay, great. You know what? Have a great time. See you later.
Hey, Tristan.
Okay, so I got to ask you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to ask you some scripting along those lines. So I completely agree with you. We have a made-up number, and I made it up, and I don't know if you've done something similarly. But on our team, the rule is assume that they are talking to 7 other agents. And I just made that number up. I don't know if it's true. I feel like it's relatively accurate. I don't know if you have something similar to that. So my question that I would ask for you is, what's your script asking them if they have an agent? I've got one. I just kind of wonder what you're using for that.
Yeah, I always go, wait, Brian, you've got an agent? So I know agents myself too. My family knows agents. There's a whole bunch out here. Let me ask you, Brian, is your agent also sending you homes that are off the market?
You know, they're not. I do get something. They send me this thing every day from a whole bunch of homes, but honestly, there's nothing really that I really love on there. So, no, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, what we offer our clients and some of our customers too, we send them homes that are off market. What it means is the properties are for sale. They just are never going to hit the MLS, or they just haven't hit yet. What I'll do is I'll start sending you some of those. Can you tell me your criteria?
Sure, absolutely. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Malibu under 1.5.
Great. Where are you looking to make a move, Brian?
I don't know the market, obviously. I'm looking to move here in the next 60 days.
All right, 60 days. All right. We're going to go through all of that, and then towards the end, I'm going to ask, Brian, now, if I do send you a home that's off market, the way that it works is, since it's off the market, I'm not always representing the seller. So are you comfortable me representing you if I do send you a home that you really like?
You know, absolutely. I don't necessarily have a commitment to anybody else. And if you can find me the home I'm looking for, that's great because no one else has yet.
Great. And then I just go for the close, and that's it.
Okay. So, and let me ask just one better question, and that's awesome. What I'm trying to get at is, when do you ask them? So my script is this. I don't ask them, do you have an agent? Because my response 90% of the time is, yes, I do, so they can get me off the phone. So what we've switched to is, how many homes have you looked at? And we've looked at 5 or 6 homes. Okay. So who showed you those homes? I don't know, some guy over at RE/MAX. And so I want to know if they really have an agent, because if you don't remember your agent's name, my thought is that you probably don't have an agent. But so I was just wondering if you're doing that.
We don't do that because there are times that they haven't seen properties at all, and their brother-in-law or their sister is an agent. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make sure that they're going to let me know that too.
Sure.
But both angles are good. The point is just to give them something of value so that they can say yes to you. Because then they'll tell you the truth. I've had agents tell me, I've had clients tell me, no, you know what? We're working with this person and it's okay. We don't need properties that are off market. I said, okay, great.
Yep, absolutely.
one of the scripts that I like for that is I always tell people, don't ever ask, do you have an agent? Because to Brian's point, they're always going to say yes just to get you off the phone. So I always say, who's your agent? And then they'll either stumble or they'll pop right out with a name. And if they pop right out with a name, I'm like, okay, it sounds like they might be loyal to that agent. So then I would follow up with something very similar to what Tristan is saying. I'd say something like, okay, fantastic. So you're working with Joe over there at Remax. That's great. So let me ask you this. If I had a property that was off market and maybe I didn't represent the seller, so the only way for me to get paid is to actually represent the buyer in that transaction, would you feel comfortable if I showed you that off market property? Would you feel comfortable using me to buy that house, or would you feel obligated to use Joe over at Remax? So again, I just want to go a little bit deeper. I think really the point here, you guys, is to have the conversation and ask them and go deeper. Don't just give up. I think the next piece of this, I was on the phone with a client this morning who kills it with his buyers, does a very good job. And one of the things that they're doing is they'll literally, when they're getting ready to go out and show somebody a home, if there's any question at all, they'll say to the buyer, they'll say, hey, look, when we go out and show you this property, one thing that's important to us is we want to know that if you buy that particular property, that you would buy it from us. Would you feel comfortable with that? And they'll say, yeah, I'd feel comfortable with that. And then they say, okay, fantastic. Well, we have a document that we're going to have you sign when we show you that property for just that one property, if you happen to buy that one property. Are you comfortable with that? And they'll say, yes, we're comfortable with that. And so what that's doing is it's getting them to sign stuff. I think there's a downside to it too, right? You're limiting the number of people you're going to be able to get face-to-face with, which I think that is a concern. That being said, it's nice because once they get out there, they're getting a single property showing agreement or a single property agreement signed by that buyer, which gets them taking steps toward doing business with you. I would be careful with that because I think it's a lot quick.
Yeah, I think you guys are getting way too in depth with this. We all know set the appointment, right? We can talk about all that at the office or at the house. I mean, I'm not going to have a 45-minute conversation about agents. You can go through the scripts like, hey, if you knew your agent was going to call you every afternoon and went through a 21-point marketing checklist of everything they're doing to try to find you homes, would you feel comfortable? That's all for later. Is your agent calling you every day, telling you what they did today to find you a home? Are they emailing you homes, or are they calling you and telling you about homes that are not on the market? All that's great, but right now I'm like, dude, hey, I have a foreclosure, a short sale not yet on the market, another one like you called on around the corner with the pool, a view, cul-de-sac, RV parking. Would you like to see those homes tomorrow at 3, or would 4 be better? And that's
and Mike, you're hitting it on the head. That is exactly the point. It's we always tell people it's like crack, right? First one's free, then you got to pay, right? Get them out there to show them a house. That's all that matters, right? It doesn't matter what it takes. Just go meet with them the first time and stop, qualifying them, or stop disqualifying them for the appointment. Right. So, all right. That being said, let's keep moving. So, Tristan, let's get back to your screen share and back to how you're converting these things at 55%. That's insane. Oh, actually, I got a question from Tom Tilliard. By the way, those of you that are asking questions on the Facebook group or on our Club Wealth Facebook page, we're going to make sure that we get to your questions. And know this, every time you guys ask a question, you're going to get an entry into the Hawaiian Vacation giveaway drawing that we do every year. And we give away not just the Hawaiian Vacation, but we also give a lot of other cash and prizes, about $15,000 in cash and prizes throughout the year. And you don't even have to be present to win those. So that being said, Tom Tilliard asks, if you don't have an email address, do you have a source that you have found to be the most accurate to gain the email addresses? Tristan?
What was the question? I was reading the questions on the Facebook thing.
Perfect. If you don't have an email address, do you have a source that you have found to be the most accurate to get the email addresses?
Yeah, so far we like Cole Realty. Cole Realty has been great for us. Cole Realty Resource. And sometimes you throw them onto Vulcan and it gives it to you too, but mostly Cole Realty.
C-O-L-E.
Brian, what do you use, man?
Cole Realty works great for me. We're getting about 40% accuracy there, which honestly is not as good as I'd like, but it's just another opportunity out there. And I'm also a big fan of trying to Facebook.
So it's Cole Realty Resource. It's a subscription thing you pay for.
How much is that again? I forgot.
It's based on volume and something like that. It's like $1,200, $1,300, right? And you're able to put in partial information, and they'll try and find matching the rest of the information for that person. And Brian just said he's getting 40% accuracy as results come out of Cole. That's what he said he was getting. All right.
Stock them. So
we do that with everybody. Good point.
Perfect. All right, Tristan, back to you, man. Let's do it.
Here's one. You know what? As we were talking, I actually just responded to somebody. Here's a second text that went out. It says, "Hey, Fritz, sorry that we haven't been able to connect about your home search. How can I help you?" That was day 2. His response right now, as we were talking, is, "Thanks for the follow-up. Reality is that I'm not in the position to buy right now." So then my text back to him is going to be, "Got it. When do you think you'll be ready? I'll keep sending you homes too, and I'll have my ISA give you a call." I won't say ISA, but I'll have my business partner give you a call. But that's part of the response. We need to know where they're at, right? We don't want to try 50, 60, 70 days later, keep on trying and not know where this person's at. Now we know that we need to nurture this person. So it's really important to have your scripts down towards the beginning, whether it's by text, email, call, voicemail, whatever you're doing, because it's going to make that job easier for you later. That's why our response rate is so high at 55%.
So you just hit you hit on something that was really subtle, and I don't know if people noticed this or not, but one of the things you said, Tristan, was I'll have my business partner contact you. It wasn't I'll have my assistant contact you or I'll have somebody else contact. It was I'll have my business partner contact you. And what that does is it passes the authority. This is actually a very important NLP technique because you're passing the authority to that other person and making them very, very important in the eyes of this consumer. If you fail to do that, you will have a lower conversion rate than when you do pass that authority effectively.
That's true, man. I've been telling people that have team members, that have a team, don't tell whoever you're telling, "Hey, I'm going to have my team member call you," or "I'm going to have my team associate call you." And just let them know I'm going to have my business partner call you. And it's not about the ego for me, or I know it's not for you either. It just, it puts that other person that you're giving them at equal status with you, so they'll feel comfortable being sent to somebody that has that same status as you. They won't feel like you're pushing them down a lot.
That's very true. I used to say, "I'll have my colleague call you," and from taking your guys' advice from switching it to colleague to business partner has made a world of difference. That's like, oh, okay, that's a legit, same as you. So I agree.
Cool, guys. All right, so where are we at? Day 4 for these. We're testing out. It's been a month, so I'm not sure how it's doing, but so far so good. Day 4, we give it a break with these leads because we're finding a lot of these Facebook lead ads. Anybody else? We're really the only ones, so we're comfortable doing that. Day 5. That's when we're sending out the video midday. We haven't had a huge response from the videos, but we are seeing that they're being opened a lot, which is good. Day 6, email again, just a simple email. Day 7, we have a call and a simple text. Now, the reason I slow it down is because day 2 and 3, day 1, 2, and 3, that's when we're getting almost everyone's response. And it's been really huge for us. Day 5, 6, and 7, very slow. We don't see a lot of people respond on those days because most of them respond day 1 to 3. After that, we're probably not going to get as big of a response anymore, either because the email was wrong, we have the wrong information, or these people already put us in spam. I mean, Brian, Mike, what have you guys noticed?
So what I do after day 7 is they go on my blasts. So I send out weekly and monthly blasts, which are more general. Just like my favorite one that we've ever sent out is, did you know that the CEO of Zillow sold his house for 40% less than his estimate? So it's not necessarily, are you looking for a home or anything like that? It's just kind of interesting stuff. We sent out the She Shed is the new version of the Man Cave. I mean, we send out silly stuff like that. And then every once in a while, it'll come in with something like, hey, the market's really hot. Do you want a home value? So it's like 9 out of 10 are just gee whiz fun stuff, and then every once in a while we throw something in there that's basically some sort of call to action. Because, like you said, a lead ad, a Facebook lead of some sort, who knows? I mean, realistically, I tell people this all the time. I can get more clicks. I can get more people to click on an ad that I run on Facebook. But just because you clicked on the ad on Facebook doesn't mean you're interested. If you're on Zillow, TrulyRealtor.com, on somebody's website, it's probably because you're looking for a house, not because you're sitting watching TV and you weren't really paying attention to scrolling through Facebook. So, but that doesn't mean that that person's not going to buy in the next 12 to 18 months, and that's the key. So remember that you're not just trying to get business in the next 30 days. Hopefully you're going to be in this business 12, 18, 24, 36 months down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Tristan, people, I'm trying to answer my text message too, and I got the second text. In the beginning, maybe we talked about it, but these Facebook ads, what specific ads are they? Are they open house ads, individual properties?
Fragmented.
Come on, internet.
Local.
Yeah, there's two friends there. That was there.
Tristan's dial-up.
Yeah.
Oh, Tristan. Listen,
I'm at a hotel room.
hey, Tristan, if you quit staying at the Best Western, you'd get better internet.
I'm at both 6, man. You upgraded me.
That's awesome. All right, so Wailopo is great stuff. We love those guys. Okay, go ahead, Tristan. We'll give it another shot on that video there. Go ahead.
See if it works this time, Mike. So my answer to that is Wailopo or Commission. Those are the two that I would.
Okay, so we got Wailopo or Commissions Inc., and we're starting to lose Tristan a little bit here. So we're going to give him a second to get that ramp back up. Let his feed dial up again. But hey, real quick, while we're talking about that, we had another couple of questions that I wanted to get to. Lisa Trexler is asking, is this being recorded? She'd like to watch it again. And the answer is yes, it's being recorded. We actually put all of our Club Wealth Live episodes on our website. So if you go to clubwealth.com, there's a section there on TV. You can go there and you can watch Club Wealth TV episodes. So you can also see part 1 of this broadcast, which was also with Tristan on how to get the leads. And now we're talking about how to follow up with those leads. Another question that came in was from Kathy, and Kathy was asking, at what point do I tell them that they've got to sign a buyer agency agreement or that they're working with me? And that all happens at the showing. Really, what you want to do is you want to hold off on any of that until the showing. All right, Tristan, are we doing better now?
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask. Well, you tell me. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
I can.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. All right, I'm going to answer Kathy's question there. Kathy, there's 2 trains of thought here, and that's you can either meet a client at a property, or you can either meet a client at your office. Either way, if you're meeting them at your office first or at a property, then I'd want you to get a buyer broker agreement signed, because there was one quote that I heard last week, which was, if you don't have a buyer broker agreement signed, it's like you don't have a buyer. It belongs to other people too. So I thought that was really strong. So yeah, I would highly suggest that you do that either at the property or after you meet them at a property, or at that first showing, at that first, what was it, the first place you meet them at your office? The whole counseling thing? Yeah, obviously, you can tell I don't do it at my office, right?
Yeah. Kathy, if you're listening to this, if you put a post in the comments, then I'll give you a class on YouTube that I did on how to put a buyer on a buyer agreement. It's pretty simple. Basically, it takes, have you noticed there's a lot of low inventory, bidding wars, and homes seeming to come on the market less and less. Well, if you knew your agent could do X, Y, Z, would you commit to an agent? And it's about 30 minutes to 45-minute presentation on me putting them on contract, so I'll put that in there if you want to. But I agree with Tristan. That is so good, because it's if you don't have that buyer agreement, it's like saying, hey, I have this listing when you don't have the listing. It's like, until you get the listing signed, don't tell nobody about it, right? They could list with an agent the next day, and these people are legitimately going off and working with 4 or 5 different agents. But if you're going to be a buyer's agent, you might as well do it right. You might as well have an actual 21-point market plan that you get up to it every single day and actually work for your buyers. And when you call them at the end of every day and say, look what I've done for you today, maybe I did, maybe I didn't find a home, but they're still 100% committed to you, that they love you, and it's like a sign in the yard. That's how I feel about those. And it's too hard. You can only work with 5 to 10 buyers at a time. Only work with the best ones willing to move in the next 30 days, period. Otherwise, you can drip on them, have your ISAs or buyer team work with them, but it's crucial.
Yeah, it's like my grandpa always said, if you don't have it in writing, it's worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa was right. And by the way, I look great in this coat, just letting you know.
Dude, I love it. I'm just call you Grandpa from now on, Michael.
I bet you didn't even know I knew that song, man. Come on.
Yeah,
All right.
love it.
That's awesome. All right. So good stuff. So let's get back to follow-up. Tristan, keep going, man. You're killing it.
That's pretty much it for Facebook lead ads on follow-up. But look, you can see that it's not just the actual ad. We went through the two different types of ads that you can use for Facebook lead ads. Once you get the lead, it really depends on how in depth your system is for follow-up, right? And what your scripts are. So it doesn't end with, wow, I got a lead, now I have to call them and that's it. It's really, really long. And so I can't really express how important the follow-up, the tonality, the scripts, the dialogue, how important all that is to make sure that you have a higher conversion. And I was just talking about response rate. I wasn't talking about actual conversion. I'm just talking about people responding and telling me, I'm not looking this time, or yes, I'm looking. That's all I was talking about.
But here's one of the things that's really important about that is we want that response, right? I don't care if it's a yes or a no. Give me a no. Great. Tell me no. At least then I'm not following up with you anymore, and I can focus my time, effort, energy, and dollars on the people that I might be able to do business with. So I'm totally okay with that. I think that people don't realize that it's not about having more people to call. It's about having more people to call that have a likelihood of doing business with you. Brian, you and I talk about this a lot. Getting leads, that's easy. We can get lots of leads, and they're not that expensive. There's lots of ways to bring them in, but we don't need 1,000 leads. We need a handful of great leads. We need to funnel them down into the ones that are going to do business with us. So getting to that 55%, conversation rate, that's a very, very big deal. Now, I wanted to jump on something else real quick that we didn't talk about. We're getting several questions about buyer agency agreements in the comments on the Facebook page. So one of the things I want you guys to know is there's a document that we use. So those of you that are Club Wealth coaching clients, you need to reach out to your coach and ask them for the Will Work for Free document. It's a great document. And essentially what it does is
Okay. He goes on for a little bit about buyer's rep, and we cover that a lot ourselves. Let's find out lights. Don't worry, I'm still as unattractive as I was when they went off. All right. So what do we catch out of this? Other than these guys goof around a lot, they know each other and it comes through in their banter. But what'd you pull out of it?
Business partner.
Business partner, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bring the energy level down. Don't go for the kill.
On
Facebook leads.
On
And
these,
Facebook, yeah.
actually apply it to anyone that's a longer term nurture where it wasn't like I see the house now. Right?
Thinking about downline leads is a 12 to 18 month thing rather than trying to just close and convert, automatically.
Right? They're just getting started to look, so yeah.
Video old leads.
Yeah, the old leads, right? Lots of stuff in here, right?
The day 5 video, I thought was kind of an interesting touch.
That was the Bomb Bomb video in day 5 for an email to them, yeah. Now, was he getting responses on that?
Not so much.
No, but what was he getting?
Views.
It was open rate, right? Yeah. Which means, okay, I've seen his face or her face. They're engaging my communication to them, type of thing, right? Wasn't getting a lot of email responses back. Hey, yeah, great, send me your stuff. There was no response back, but the whole point was to be front of mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How'd you like day 1 and 2? It's pretty
heavy.
Huh?
It's a lot.
Right?
It's a lot. 10 seconds after we picked up.
Double dial?
The let me know text works really well, yeah.
Let me know. Okay.
Double dial works really well.
Double dial works really well because nobody answers. It's when they talk about on the video that people don't generally answer an unknown number the first time they call. I've had a lot of success with the double dial. Maybe not success in terms of pushing things past, getting appointments booked and stuff like that, but getting in contact with people. You'd be surprised at how quickly people pick up the second call because they actually think that there's some benefit to them doing that. So I would recommend the double dial as a standard practice.
But then be gentle on your entry, right? In essence, you kind of just hammer their phone a bit, bang, 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 right? Don't come in screaming with another right hook, right? Be gentle on the, hey.
Good way to look at that, if you don't have an expectation of what being gentle looks like, when you finally get them on the phone at that point, almost take it as if they have called you. So you are completely being at their mercy at that point, instead of being more up like you are trying, just like the video said, like you're trying to sell them. If you are kind of having the mindset of now they're contacting you as if they did originally, with whatever contact point that they made, it puts you in a very proper mindset for being able to talk to them as if they are the ones asking everything of you and you are just being there to help them.
That's a good tip.
Coming here from a service and servitude mentality, right? Now, who has time blocked time, dedicated focus time every day to jam through the leads?
What's that?
Who has their calendar written down? Here's the leads I'm working with, here's what I'm going to do, and a plan to follow through.
I have it. Not always done.
Kind of important, right? See that? This wasn't just here's what I do on day one. These are the times of day we do things. Right? It takes some discipline, but discipline brings success, right? 15, I'm doing this. And hold it. Don't sacrifice it. Doesn't mean you can't have I'm starting to book in my calendar 10-minute slots. 9:45 to 9:55. There's a bracket of hold activities. Yeah.
Imagine if we had a computer system, we could call it maybe like a CRM or something.
Oh, wow!
In which you could actually block that on an individual basis with not only the time scheduling, but the messaging already there to help you to kind of, I don't know, maybe like
Good job.
make it a little bit better or make the process a little more streamlined. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could get something like that.
We have some tools coming as well. That'll help us all do this, right? Brokerage-wide. They're in the beta test group right now, so we're doing everything we can on Brokerage level to bring you even more and better tools to help me do this, and it's being beta tested right now. So we'll leave it there. Okay, so who's going to implement something this week, and what will it be? Bruce, what are you implementing?
Well, I want to get more on this video text thing, and you keep hearing it, so I've got to do it.
Okay.
So I just got to find the source.
So video text me sometime today.
Yes.
Do it. Send me a video
I
text.
gotta find someone who can tell me where.
You have a phone?
If it's a selfie video on your phone and you just attach it to the text, send it go.
You say
Do
send.
not go over 1 minute in length.
Download BombBomb. But when you send a video text, they have to push play, and I've had some people not willing to push play. So is that where the BombBomb comes in, where it
Does it
automatically plays?
So the BombBomb email has the automatically GIF going into the body of the email,
Oh.
right? The text videos, it's just there. You've all gotten one. My crew's gotten one. You gotta hit play and go, right? But curiosity, more often than not, is going to get them to push play because there's a face there.
There is
None-
no way to just
none
make
of
it go once they open
None
it.
of this is 100%, right?
Yeah.
There is not one of these that is the all almighty silver bullet, hallelujah. No, but you put all these things together and you increase your success rate across the whole platform.
I missed number one on Facebook ads. Is that accessible?
Yeah.
Do I have to come in here?
I'd like to start.
Wrong! Just kidding. Action, there's some of those. If you have, go to Zillow, make me moves. Cool. Worth coming today?
Yeah.
All right, rock it out, folks.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.